Thank you all. Um, Angie, let's go. Take it away.
Okay, give me a second to share my screen. Where's this? Can everyone see the welcome screen? Oh, why do I hear an echo?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us for our July mandatory meeting. Let's get right into it, shall we? We're going to get started by first welcoming. Oh, goodness, what happened to my welcome screen? Well, I don't know why it's hidden, even though I unhid it, but I wanted to welcome our new agent, our newest agent, Stephanie Etienne. She just joined us less than a month ago, and I wanted her, if she's still on with us, to share a little bit about herself. Where's my...
Angie. I mean, I think I did that with Alex, but I'll do it again. I'm Stephanie. I am a newer agent. Excited. I've heard a lot about Thumbprint. And I'm seeing a lot and I'm learning a lot. So I'm really excited to be a part of the team. What I do prior to becoming a real estate agent is I am a nurse practitioner. So I work in the nursing field. Um, but I also had a deep passion for, real estate. And also I had a really bad experience when buying my second home. So hence I decided to get into the real estate world. So I am happy and ready to learn from the team and I'm glad to be a part. So that's pretty much sums up me in a whole.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, and welcome again.
Thank you.
Announcements that we have media day photos. Surprisingly, and maybe unsurprisingly, a lot of you have not yet selected your four. Now, I've received a lot of feedback or a lot of questions, and mostly regarding the same question. A lot of you are having difficulty picking four and only four because of how many photos that you have and how many of them that you love out of how many that you have. I don't yet have an answer for those questions that a lot of you have. I've been trying to communicate with the photographer and not really
Man.
successful with that part. Um, so whether we get the raw photos is to be announced. But please at least send the four of the, however many that you like to get started with. And then we'll figure out the rest as we go. But I am working to get those answers for us because I want those answers as well. But if anyone has any other feedback regarding Media Day, please let me know. Or even regarding your edited photos. I have been sending edited photos back to you guys. And I haven't been hearing anything back, which I'm taking as a good sign, right? I'm seeing them on social media for the most part. So I hope that you love them, but please do not hesitate to let me know if you don't. Oh, our in-person July training, of course, was supposed to be scheduled for July 5th. And that date has not yet been rescheduled. I know that Alex is working to coordinate an in-person live inspection for that training.
Yeah, the only issue we're having with the inspectors, of course, they're busy on the weekend. And all the dates we receive is on a weekday. So maybe we put it in the chat. It most likely might be a weekday, and I'm aiming for 6 to 9. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a live inspection training where people can ask questions, learn from the inspector what to look for as a real estate agent. If you're doing a walkthrough, easy things that you can just look for so you don't waste your client's money. Um, so that's why I want the live training, but it looks like it's going to be on a weekday. If we choose a weekday, it's going to be sooner than later. If we wait for a weekend, it's not going to even happen in August. So I think at this point, we probably just going to need to choose a weekday and just get it done. I'm excited for this training. Of course, I'm going to record it. I know this training is going to be a real good training, and you're going to learn a lot, especially the new agents that haven't experienced inspection, and also agents that experience inspection, but couldn't sit there and ask a million questions because the inspection is not about that for the agent; it's actually for the buyer. So this is going to be real good, and this is a partnership with one of the lead inspectors that led the lawsuit to change the rules about it concerning inspections. So yeah, that's the update.
So we will send out an email as soon as we have that date to everyone. Another announcement, I received an email about MLS suspensions. Quite a lot of you have currently might notice that your MLS are suspended, and that's due to, I guess, the quarterly payments are due. So just make sure that you log in sometime over the weekend and get those dues paid to MLS. And then the last announcement is, of course, take it over, Alex, is for the new rental law. Dun, dun,
All
dun.
right. All right. So I know everyone's going crazy with this new rental law, right? And let's talk about it. Um, one who has questions and who's concerned? Is anyone concerned?
What's the law?
So the law is can I'm gonna answer that question after. If anyone have concerns or questions, and then I'm gonna answer your question, Taina. Deja?
I don't really have any concerns. My only question is in a scenario where a tenant hires me, but the landlord has their own agent, is the is it still a co-broke or is now the tenant responsible for paying my full fee because they hired me?
Okay. I'm gonna answer that as well. And Nathan?
Good morning. Good morning. Yes. So I have a question with regards to, I know we have a particular way of training with regards to procuring new listing leads. One of the things that we say is, we'll get our fee from the tenant. Clearly, that's not going to be something that we enact on or execute on anymore. So my curiosity lies in how our listing procuring training will alter or change and how we'll pivot. I'm just curious to see how we'll change moving forward because of this law. Um,
Uh,
that's about it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So the law is we it's this is the headline, and the headline is very confusing because if they don't word it like this, they won't get a lot of traction. So the headline is tenants are not required to pay realtor fees. That's the headline. Okay, as James will say, that's the Instagram story. But the rule is tenants are not required to pay realtor fees to the realtor or the real estate agent that they did not hire. Did I make did y'all understand that? So if if your client hired you, they are paying you only. They are no longer paying you and the listing agent, right? Now, if the landlord hires a listing agent, the landlord is paying the listing agent, and that listing agent cannot ask um, you or your client to pay on top of that. Does that make sense,
Yes.
Kerry?
That makes total sense, but can we just talk through what that payment process is going to look like if we're getting paid from the landlord? Because, are we collecting the check directly from like the first month rent and putting it in escrow? Are we asking the landlord to give us a check to put in escrow? Like, at what point do we collect the money, and what is the best way to collect the money from the landlord?
Yep, perfect. Thank you for that question. So I know we're talking about this on Monday when I get back, but since the landlord has to pay regardless, it's two things we could do: collect it up front, and then we're gonna run into some landlords. I don't got the money, I don't got the funds, I don't got this. But I honestly think rentals are hard. Let's be hard. Rentals are hard. Rentals are the only ones that give us a bad review. Rentals are just it's just one of the hardest things transactions to do, and I'm gonna say this the right way. And in certain areas, I'll say in certain areas of Massachusetts, rental transactions are harder than other areas. And so we're thinking, all right, do we make the landlord say, all right, we need the money up front before we start, or do we make sure the like do we make sure that we get paid before we submit the money? Maybe we collect the funds and then pay out the landlord like a regular closing. So we're gonna talk about it Monday, but that's the two options that we're thinking about. One, make the landlord pay upfront. All right, the landlord says, "Well, I don't have it up front. That I'm vague. I've been vacant for 3 months, and this is why I want to hire you," and so on and so on. Or do we say, you know what? Well, the tenants will pay thumbprint. We'll get our money, and we'll give you what's owed to you to make sure we control the funds. Because one thing is not. It's we all know, oh, I'm going to pay you. I signed a contract. Yeah, I'm not paying you. Take me to court. It's going to cost way more money to take me to court than what I owe you anyway. So I doubt you're going to take me to court. And then we chasing the landlord. Now that happened probably twice already with tenants and landlords, right? So I'm leaning more of collecting the funds all through Thumbprint and then paying everybody out. That's what I'm leaning towards. What you think, Harry?
Aha! Well, that's what I've always done. I
Yeah.
collect my fee at the time that the checks are written from the tenant. I would
Mm-hmm.
say this deposit, I would say I'm collecting the deposit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make that payable to Thumbprint Realty. That is my fee that I'm
Yep.
collecting from the landlord. And then
Mm-hmm.
the remaining balance goes to the tenant. That's the only
Or
way
the
I've
landlord.
operated. I'm sorry, it goes to the tenant writes a check for the
Yep.
balance directly to the
Mm-hmm.
landlord.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 So this rule again, this rule is I want to make this very clear because I see it on social media. I see everyone sharing the wrong information. And again, whoever hires you pays you. If you could keep that in your mind, whoever hires you pays you. Right? And I agree with you, Angel, 100%. Whoever hires you, pays you. It's that simple. If you could keep that in your mind, if you ever forget, whoever hires me pays me. A lot of tenants is going to just say, "Hey, yeah, find me a unit," and then you're gonna say, "Well, this is how much you owe me," and they're gonna say, "Well, I thought I'm not supposed to pay you." No, you hired me, so you're gonna pay me. Now, here comes the downside, right? The legal crook of everything that I see, because we spoke about this bill um, in fall of last year with the city councils, and I said this okay, it really doesn't make sense to me because now if the person that represents if the listing agent, right, if the listing agent says I represent the listing, But this buyer, this tenant comes without an agent. Well, it would say, yo, do you have an agent? Do you have your credit pulled already? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you like you want me to do your work for you? You want me to chase you for pay stubs? Then you have to hire me. like like it's gonna be that simple, or go find another agent that's gonna chase you around, that's gonna collect all this information from you, that's gonna meet you at your job to get pay stubs or like you know what I'm saying? On another note, as a listing agent, you definitely want to I don't know if you're going to chase or collect all this information, but the listing agents definitely need to look at the information and make sure this client's a good fit for their client. So I just see a lot of gray area as in the listing agent, where the listing agent is going to say, "You didn't hire me, so you gotta go figure out your own paperwork." But if you want to hire me, can you sign this document? And now that listing agent is going to eat on both sides at that point because, yep, the landlord hired me, and now the tenant hired me, and that's where I see the loophole. It's and unless I'm missing something, but that's where I see the loophole. What's up, Jeff?
I'm sorry, Alex. I have something to say, but I missed the last part that you mentioned about the loophole. What's the loophole as far as
Well,
the tenant hiring you?
yeah, because I feel like when the listing agent's hired by the landlord and that tenant comes without an agent, the listing agent is not obligated to represent that tenant. It's not obligated to do everything for that tenant to be ready to submit a full application. That listing agent could say, "Look, this is what I need. This is the type of credit score I need. Me credit report I need. This is what I need. If you're gonna go get it on your own, bring it back when it's full." By the time that person does that, somebody's gonna take the apartment, because now the
Hmm.
tenants are not coming ready, right? They just come in, they
Yeah.
seen it on Facebook, they seen it on a platform, and they just come to the open house or call and say, "Hey, can I see the home?" All right, you love this home. You're not ready. I have to go with someone that's already ready. That's just ready to go. So I just feel like it's going to be loopholes there, gray areas. Now that tenant could be like, "Well, I'll hire you," and now that listing agent might be like, "Oh, okay, you're gonna hire me? I'll do all the work. This is how much you owe me," and now that person's getting paid by both sides.
Well, I have a quick question for you. Is that with the intention that when you that you're only entitled to half the fee, or is the listing is the owner paying you a full fee of equal to the 1 month's rent?
The
Typically, that's
rule
what
still,
rent.
yeah, the rule didn't change on how much they pay. So
Okay.
the landlord could pay you full, and the tenant could pay you full. It was whoever hires you. So they both hire
Okay.
you, it's dual agency, just like on the broker side, on the selling
So
side.
so I started off as a rental agent in Mission Hill, right? So and for me, and sitting in this position now, looking back at this, I think it makes it more competitive, right? But I don't think it changes anything, right? As far as for agents, it makes it more competitive in the sense now agents need to step up and actually get more listings rather than sitting there and waiting for a potential tenant to reach out to them. Given the fact that now the landlord is going to pay first. I mean, the landlord's receiving first license security from the tenant. The tenant is actually saving money in a sense because now the landlord is going to have to hire you and actually have to pay the agent, right? So, given the fact that that happens, it makes it more competitive. Now, the tenant doesn't have to come up with 4 months payment; they only have to come up with three. So as an agent, when you do get hired by the landlord, that's your job is actually to do the paperwork. So if a potential tenant comes in and then as an agent you think that person is a good tenant, you want to close the deal. You're not gonna just say, "Hey, go figure this thing out." You are going to help them and do the paperwork for you to collect your listing fee. So are you going to again ask tell that person they are hiring you and so you could double dip? Because I think that would be illegal for you to double dip.
Illegal or legal?
Illegal.
E- Illegal to do dual agency.
It's not a dual agency to receive two fees for the same property from two different people.
So let me ask you real quick. let me
Well,
ask
if
you
it's
one
not
question.
illegal,
Let me,
well,
let
if
me
it's
ask you
not
one
illegal,
question.
if it's not
Let me ask you one
illegal,
question.
it's unethical. One or the
Can,
other.
can I ask you a question? So just make it simple,
Sure.
Jeff. And once we answer the rest of the questions, Joel is last. So let me just ask one question. If you're representing a tenant and you've been searching for a home for 3 months, a landlord calls Jeff and say, Jeff, I have this listing. I want you to represent me. And it's the same fit, the same everything that your tenant is looking for. What are you going to do, Jeff?
What do you mean? What am I gonna do?
You didn't hear the question?
As far as what? As far as charging them a fee, or what
Okay.
am I gonna do? Close the
Okay, here,
deal.
let's do this again.
I'm going to make an introduction, and
If you're working with a tenant, right, and you've been working with the tenant for 3 months, can't find anything, a landlord calls you and you believe and say, hey, Jeff, I want you to represent me. I want you to find me a tenant, right? And you feel like, yo, this might be the one that your client been looking for. Are you saying you are
but
going
it's
to
not
say,
a.
hey,
So
hear
I
me out,
understand.
hear me out. Are you
Yeah.
going to say, hey, landlord, I can't represent you, but I do have this tenant that I think fits well with you, right? You do that. All right, great. Guess what? You turn down the landlord, the tenant doesn't like the unit. What are you going to do? Explain.
So this is not a hypothetical, Alex, because like exactly I've been in this situation before.
Okay.
Like I've that happened, and I did charge them. I did collect a fee from both sides.
Okay. But that's what I just said,
But they weren't
correct?
happy about it. They weren't happy about it.
Uh, um,
That's what
If,
I said. It's
if we're
either it,
but if we're talking about law, the laws changed. Whoever hire you pays you. All right, cool. So we either gonna say you're either gonna say, hey, whoever hires me, and if the tenant comes, you're gonna have to make that agreement up front. Hey, if a tenant comes that I represent, landlord, I'm only gonna take half. And then you have
and
to
this
tell
is
that tenant, and I think that gets confusing because now you have to tell the tenant the same thing. And now you go to another home that you don't represent. The tenant's gonna be like, "Yo, I thought you said I have to only pay half." No, I only said on the ones I actually represent. It gets confusing.
it gets they get. I mean, honestly, what I'm saying is ultimately the win here is it gets less competitive, given the fact that the tenant doesn't have to pay full money. They're not required in a sense
Correct.
to
I
come up
agree
with
with that.
four.
I
So
agree.
and again now, the way that you put as an agent, the way that you control your money is by acquiring the listing. Landlord is still going to need your services. They are going to reach out to you. So your goal is to reach out to to those landlords and actually get those listings because they are going to be the one to pay you ultimately if you're able to secure that listing. Some landlord may push back and say they don't need it. People's gonna reach out them directly. Some tenants is gonna feel the same way that they could just do it by themselves. Either or. The only way for the agents to not feel that impact is to control them, is to control the listing side. That's my say here. Because like I said, I know
Yeah,
in real estate, listing is the name of the game.
I that's where I think it's a real good is a real good opportunity for the tenants, sorry, the agents that work with qualifying tenants. I think this is a real good opportunity because now they they have to, like you said, worry about less fees, but they still have to pay that broker fee. But you actually now getting access to an agent that's going to get you in a home. You're not dealing with a listing agent that's going to give you the runaround because they don't represent you. That's the that's where I see the opportunity. That's just me, right? I actually see it on both sides, but I see where now the tenant's like I could hire Nathan and pay Nathan and not have to pay Jeff as well. And Nathan's actually going to get me to the finish line because we all heard this before. An agent will call, a tenant will call you. I've been searching, people's not responding to me. Like I can't get access, and that's the hard part. So if you're out here thinking you do it by yourself, it's going to be the same situation. I've been searching, people's not responding to me. I can't get into these homes. So I think the opportunities is on the tenant side as well, and the same as I don't see the listing opportunities as a landlord. Landlord is now paying an extra fee. So I don't see the big opportunity on the landlord side where they happy and they're excited to say, hey, okay, now we're back to paying this fee. But on the tenant side, I see huge opportunity there. Taina?
Can you hear me without, I'm in a noisy place.
Yep, I can.
Okay. So I had two questions. One is what fee exactly can we get from the tenant to hold until so that you were talking about if the landlord owes you the money, then to ensure that you get your payment from the landlord, that you take the fee from the tenant.
No, I didn't say
However,
that.
is
I didn't say that. You
oh no,
said,
I thought what
sorry,
okay, go ahead.
you saying upfront or you saying when the right before the transaction closed?
Before it closes.
Like, okay, so we picked
So
the 10.
so you
Okay. Oh, I see what you're
the
saying. Okay.
tenant's picked,
Oh,
you've
okay.
done your walkthrough or whatever it is, you're about to give keys, they hand you a check.
Hmm.
Now, if the check is, my understanding was the check was in the name of the landlord, and then you
Well,
would then share that check with the landlord. But
and
how,
what I was saying is get your free right at the transaction. So the if we're talking about $3,000, that your fee's $1,000 and the landlord needs $2,000. Well, one check will be $2,000 to the landlord and 1,000 to Thumbprint Realty.
okay, so the tenant will be paying it that way. So I guess my more specific question was like, what part of the fee can it, like, if they're just collecting like first and security, you can't take security from the tenant, right? Doesn't the security check have to go in the name of the landlord?
Yeah, so if the land if you're saying if the landlord say, hey, I only want first and security, what check are you getting? Well, the first
Yeah,
is your fee then.
say it again.
So the first is your fee.
Okay, okay. And then the second thing, in the contracts that we have in Bold Trail, it talks about 2 installments. Like that's the language in should we be following that practice? I don't, and I
I
apologize
think you
because I
should,
don't.
no
Mhm.
problem.
I don't know the exact language off the top of my head, but it does talk about 2 installments of the fee. So half at this point and half at another point.
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read it. I think you're talking about one to like hold it and then one to close it. I think that's probably what you're talking about.
Probably, probably.
Okay, got it. Carrie?
Yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I just want to note that the scenario that Jeff provided in terms of what he thinks is unethical is different from the scenario that you provided that is legal. And I'm going to give you an example. If someone is hiring you, before you start showing them units, you would have already signed an agreement of representation. And so based on that contract, they are legally obligated to pay you, whether you are finding them a random apartment that is managed by another agent, or if it's one of your personal listings where you've already signed a contract with that landlord stating that that landlord is obligated to pay you. So you have contracts before you actually connect the tenant to the landlord. That is legal. However, the scenario that Jeff provided is that he has an agreement with the landlord. And a scenario where maybe you have done an open house and somebody comes and they are not represented. To turn around and require them to pay you a broker's fee is walking a fine line of unethical behavior based on this new law, because they may be assuming that they are paying you to guarantee them the apartment. Are you guaranteeing them the apartment? What if there are multiple tenants, renters there with no agent? How are you going to walk that fine line? And as the agent for the landlord, you're still obligated to collect the documentations, review the documentations. So I think in that scenario, that is where you can find yourself walking a very fine line and being unethical. But in the other scenario that you provided, you have contracts in place prior to connecting the tenant to the landlord.
Yep,
And I
and
just
I
kind of
agree.
wanted to clarify that.
And I agree. And when I first said, I said this law is now creating gray areas because as a listing agent, you can now say, hey, I'm not gonna go chase you. I'm not gonna show up to your job and ask you for these documents, but I will give you a list of things I need. And once you send that to me, I
Yes,
will look at it and make sure if you
that's
let's
it.
see if you qualify or not. But by the time you do that, it's about five people here already with an agent that's already ready. So most likely you're gonna miss your opportunity.
Right. And that's why it's important to send the same email detailing the requirements to each
Yep.
party, and then you step back.
Yep. Yep. So that's where I think this creates these gray areas where, especially for these tenants, it's like, oh, I'm about to go do it on my own. I don't need anyone. You don't read the email. You don't come with all the documents at the open house. You don't fill out the application before you show up. Oh, I'm gonna fill out the application when I like something. No, you're supposed to be prepared, but you don't have no representation. So in your mind, you're like, I'll fill it out when I see it. But again, you have five other tenants already with an agent that's ready to go. That's such a, again, gray area, and we'll see how it pans out. Deja.
I am hoping, honestly, I'm trying to get away from rentals, but they keep finding me. Um, but I'm hoping, especially with me representing tenants, that I get a better response from the agents that are listing the apartments, because I feel like a lot of them don't respond because they don't want to co-broke.
That's yeah, you probably get a better response. But again, at the end of the day, too, uh, I'm gonna say this again. In certain areas of the state, there's a better pool of tenants. I just want to be frank. We all know this. So branding's very important. If you branding yourself to a certain and I'm just trying to pick my words wisely.
I'm following what you're saying.
To a certain area, that's on you, right? If people keep calling you from a certain area, you have to change. Something has to change. Something has to change because that phone call is not coming to me, or that phone call is not coming to everyone in the brokerage. Some landlords call people in the brokerage. Some sellers call people in the brokerage. That's how they brand themselves. So that's very important. If like you have to change that. What are you doing to attract them? You have to change that ASAP. Next is let's think about it. If you have five qualifying tenants, it might be easier now to speak to a landlord like, look, I have these tenants. Now, again, a gray area. Do you say I have these tenants? Look, you don't have to pay me, or I have these tenants. I would love to have your listings because I have a pool of tenants that 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 I believe will go perfect with your unit, right? They already qualified, you already did all the work, and the land that might build way more trust with the landlord. Like, look, Deja already have everyone. I'm just gonna pay her. She's gonna get it done. She's gonna get it done within a month. She's like, I'm not gonna miss a month. Like that might be more attracted to a landlord. Just to be honest, I think what we need to do is stop looking at the rules and say, "Oh man, what are we going to do now?" And look at rules and say, "You know what? This is how I'm going to dominate with this new change. I'm going to see this new opportunity in this new rule change." I think we need to start looking at every rule change, even this Donald Trump big beautiful bill. We need to look at stuff and say, "You know what? Let me find the opportunity because with this change, someone is winning. It might not be for me, but I'm going to make it for me." And that's the way we need to start thinking about all the changes in real estate. Clarissa?
Yeah, I just wanted some clarity or making sure I'm understanding this right. So, just regarding rentals, it sounds like there's no longer a co-broke. So, meaning like if I'm listing the rental property, the landlord is expected to pay me. And if another agent comes with a tenant, then that tenant pays their agent. So both sides pay their agent. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is no more
Whoever
co-broke?
hired whoever hired you pays you. So therefore, the tenant doesn't have to pay the agent, the listing agent. That's what this is all this change stem from. Is when the listing agent's like, oh, you gotta pay first, last security, and you gotta pay my fee. And the tenant's like, yo, I didn't even hire you. So what? Don't care. I know you're working with Clarissa. Yo, Clarissa, I want this fee. We gotta figure that out with your client.
Okay.
You know? But you do ask a good question because as a listing agent, and I say, hey, the tenant is actually the listing agent is paying me full. Do I give half of my fee to Clarissa to get this done faster? But Clarissa is already most likely is get collecting a fee from the tenant because the tenant hired her. That's just gray areas. The more we talk about this,
Yeah, nah, that
so
that would
many
be
gray areas.
as a listing agent, if I know you're coming with a tenant, your tenant is expected to pay you. I'm not gonna then give you half. That doesn't make any sense because now you're getting a month and a half of
Correct.
rent. Like, no, it's not gonna happen.
Tina, and this is the last one, so we can move on. Tina, that was your
Yeah.
old hand or your new hand?
Oh no, it's a new hand.
Okay.
So I I tend to not have many conversations about the fee because I've talked to landlords in the past and I've just said, hey, pay me the fee, it's easier, blah, blah, blah. So my landlords have always been open to paying the full fee. Um, so, but in the case that, let's just say that's not the case, when I've been getting application, when somebody's come to a house that I've listed and they're interested in filling out an application, the homes that I have now are the people don't seem to be represented. So they come and they say, I want to fill out an application. So I send them over the TPR application
Yep.
and they pay the $35. Now I'm
Hmm.
doing all the due diligence of like running their application, blah, blah, blah. Am I
Right.
technically their agent or because they're signing it. So I'm believing that, they're signing that they're working with me. So is it at that point, but there's no fees discussed at that point.
So that's what we was talking about with the gray area. So
Okay.
with that scenario you just gave, the ethical thing to do, the landlord hire you, you created an open house, and this person came in. You have all the information on your listing, what you need to for the client to qualify for the particular home. That's your job. Now,
Right. Because I'm
now,
thinking okay. Go ahead.
if that tenant doesn't get your listing, and you say, hey, I could find one for you. Do you want to hire me? That's a different conversation.
Okay. So for that particular transaction, technically, so so here's the thing. If my client was only my listing agent was my landlord was only paying half the fee, would then so now, like I said, I gave them the application, they filled it out, they sent it back to me. Now I'm running background checks, this, that, and the other. They didn't come to me with their credit and this, that, and the other. That I had to do it myself. Um, are they now my tenant and now responsible for paying the other half? Or is that is that like
Why would they pay the other half if the landlord is hiring you to find a tenant? That's what I'm saying. That's where the gray area come in. Where what Jeff was saying is like, all right, you should just do your job and find the best tenant. If you did your job and you told on your listing and tell you everything that you need, show up ready, and this person doesn't show up ready, but you don't have everybody, you don't have a line, you're not really running their credit. They're going online and putting it all in, and then you get the information and see if they qualify or not. You get a full month payment to do this. That makes sense?
Yeah, kind of, but I think it's enough for us to move on, at least on my question.
Okay.
But Taina, why are you charging half-month rent knowing that this is what we're talking about with the laws changing? Why aren't you charging the landlord the full month rent
I'm
for
not saying
your
I'm
fee?
not saying that I am charging the full month. Again, I've never had these conversations because I've always I've always talked to the landlords about paying me the full fee. So I'm never really concerned about the tenant coming in. I just do what I was hired to do. So I've also haven't had to deal with other agents on the other side. So I've never discussed these things in the past,
So,
but yeah.
got it. So to make it clear to everyone, so one, we don't get called out. One is not a lawsuit against Thumbprint. Let's make it very simple. If you have a listing and people show up without agents, it's your job. Again, if they show up ready, I'm not saying chase them and meet them at their job to collect stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you put it on the website, maybe they didn't pay attention, fine. At the open house, you have everything you need to to tell them, hey, this is what you need to qualify. Bring me all these documents and I'll take it from here and I'll present it. That's your job. Your job isn't to say, you know what, I'm gonna have this open house and I'm gonna double dip. Because one thing for sure with these rule changes, people's gonna test you. They're gonna see what Thumbprint's doing, what is this listing agent doing? Is they trying to eat on both sides. And even if we found a loophole, it's still not ethical and it makes no sense to be in a newspaper. So I make it very simple. You have the listing, someone come without an agent, get the job done. You owe it to the listing agent. That person, the landlord, that person hired you to get a good qualified tenant, point blank. At the end of the day, that's why they hired you. Now, if that person does not get that unit, and you want to work with that person, all right, have that conversation about fees and go start your new search. Um, um, Finding that person a apartment. Deja, that's your old hand, or we staying on this?
No, it's a new hand. But I actually forgot my question, so come back to me.
All right, perfect. All right, Angie, we can move on.
All right. Really good dialogue, a lot of gray area. Navigate the best way that we can, which, speaking of navigating things, make sure, veteran agents and new, that you are actively on the training and support website for your thumbprint needs. So, for example, July, all the social media posts are uploaded here. So for July's post, you will see them there. And then in our FAQs are answers to your most commonly asked questions. Things from how do I send my client a link to submit a testimonial for me? All the way to, I don't know why I just blanked out right now, but make sure that you definitely, oh, and we have merch as well, which I know that a lot of you may not even know that we have merch, thumbprint sweater or hoodies. Um, so you can shop for that as well in the agent shop, and hats. And I forget what else we have on there. June
And
activity.
this is
Wow.
the referrals. You have to get those referrals. Gotta get those referrals. I know a couple of real estate agents at Thumbprint get get clients based on the referrals. Just someone going on a Google and looking at the reviews and then choosing the agent. I know that for a fact because obviously some of y'all told me. So referrals are super important. Get that Google referral ASAP. If you did a good job, I don't understand why you're not asking for a testimonial referral, a testimonial.
Mhm.
I do not understand why. If you did a phenomenal job and if you didn't do a good job, why? You know, but the testimonials are very important. It's your resume. This is what someone reads if they don't know you. So um get that testimonial done.
Yes. So all of that will be found in the FAQs. Oh goodness. Because the process hasn't changed. We're still sending our clients to Google, right? We're sending our clients to Google review to submit the 5 stars, and then Vixen, as soon as
Hits
we
Google.
notice the review, we post it onto our website because we can't do the opposite, right? None of the reviews on our website we can then copy onto Google. And Google is the one that is the one effectively pushing our SEO. So anytime someone's searching for, real estate agent, Somerville, or, whatever markets that you're looking to dominate, it will populate for that area. So Google reviews, and then it gets posted onto your website. Activity for June. Activity for June, we had 14 closings, and 7 rentals. This is according to the brokerman data. I noticed that some of you, when you're submitting a file to me, either it doesn't have a closing date within the brokerman transaction, or it has a closing date that's different from the one that it officially closed on, because I for rentals, the closing date is always the lease date. And then for sales, of course, it's the date on the CD. So always double check your brokerment file before submitting it to me to ensure that the dates match so that you're getting the appropriate credit. But for the most part, if I notice the error, I'm adjusting that. But also do your due diligences as well. So to date, we've had 66 sales and
Can I add to
43
that real quick? Sorry.
rentals. No, of
Um,
course.
because it might be the transaction when it comes to closing, it might get delayed. But even if it gets delayed, an extension should be filed, either email from the 2 attorneys, or actually signing an extension document to protect your client. I know a lot of people get the extension done by word of mouth. That is the wrong way to do it. You will find out once something goes wrong. But the right way to get an extension is an extension document, and it gets signed by both parties, and it tells you exactly what part of the transaction is getting extended. Is it P&S? Is it offer? Is it closing? Or is it clear to close date? So that's the correct way to do it. And again, a lot of times not the landlords, the attorneys come up with their own agreement, which you should have a copy of it as well and just upload it. But again, word of mouth is not an extension. You actually putting your client in harm's way.
Yeah, we like to say real estate is all about paperwork. So if it's not on paper, it doesn't exist. So don't do word of mouth. Definitely make sure you get that contract. Um, oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
Angie, I got a quick
6
question.
sales. Who has a question?
Kevin.
Oh, hey, Kevin.
For that, now I had to extend twice on this one property, but they have a chain letter with verbal confirmation from both sides. Does that count?
A verbal and chain
I
letter?
mean, they confirmation from both sides in the email thread from
Oh,
seller and buyer.
You mean from the attorneys, correct?
All
Because the seller and buyer is
attorneys,
not.
attorneys and agents and seller and buyer are on an email thread. And attorney is like, hey, they're requesting this extension for this date. Do you approve? A buyer says yes. Seller says yes. And then everybody is like, okay, we're good for the extension.
I'm okay with those emails as long as you have an email. But like I said, the correct way to do it
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
an extension document. That's why they created an extension document to extend the transaction.
Gotcha. I just wanted to confirm if like I would be able to upload that.
Yep,
Okay,
yeah.
the
cool.
email chain. That's cool.
Emails suffice, right? Some sort of paper trail, but especially between the attorney emails are the ones that, um,
The,
have weight.
that extension document is so easy to fill out, boy. It takes you 2 minutes. I'm just saying.
I don't know why a lot of I don't know why a lot of deals they prefer to email. But anyway, make sure to get those extensions, guys. So to date, we've had 66 sales. That leaves us with a remaining goal of 134. So from here to the end of December, if we close 22 sales starting this month, we will reach our goal of 200. And then for rentals, we've had 42 to date, so that leaves us with 133. Same thing. It's funny, it averages out to 22 a month, and that will help us reach our goal for 175 for 2025. Commercial activity for June, we've had one commercial lease and not a commercial sale. Commercial team I see is outside and they're trickling in the transactions to me. Upcoming events. Our upcoming events, the one that we have for 2025 is, of course, our annual holiday party. And that is December 6th at the same location as last year. And I believe the same time. And I am already mentally planning a media day for 2027 because I want everything to be an entirely different experience, a more elevated experience next time than it was last time. And that's always my goal. And I also, which I didn't plug in here, but I did want to plug in the Thumbprint Cares Backpack Drive, which is Saturday, August 2nd. I'm not sure if Joanna's still on or if we were able to confirm any dates or possible dates for volunteers, but I did send an email 2 days ago to everyone. So make sure that you click the link, whether you volunteer, whether you donate, any and all support is welcome. Our drive is creeping up quickly and we're super excited. That is August 2nd.
And can I just make, no, go ahead. I could wait till the end actually. Go ahead.
Okay. Market update.
Oh, I
And
can wait right here.
Yeah.
So one thing I just want to give Jeff, if you still on, if you want to talk about commercial and any updates, the commercial department, what's going on, anything on the agreement, any closings, um, feel free. Jeff, are you still here? Anyone from the commercial department want to speak up?
Commercial scene is quiet. It's
Okay.
no, not much.
All right. Market update. Short sales is coming back. I think it's clear. The short sales are coming back. Um, we all know, and I forgot that his position. We all know Trump want to fire the person that controlled the mortgage rates in October. And I'm pretty sure that the rates will drop. But if that doesn't happen, we all know that if and y'all in the market more than me, but homes are sitting longer, much longer, and it's a lot of inventory. The most we have had in the last 5 years. And I think the sellers are hooked on the money that other sellers was receiving last year, 2 years ago, and they're not letting that vision go with that, right? And it's our job to educate our sellers and really bring them to reality and show them their neighbor home that's staying on the market and really, really do a good job with the comps, a phenomenal job with the comps. And I think a lot of times when people do comps, and I've seen it for myself, that as an agent you don't even want to believe the comps, so you go further out to look for other comps, and you have a comp that's right there on the street, but they didn't give you the number that you probably told the client, or a number you didn't feel comfortable with, so you search in another town, and now that home is sitting, right? So it's very important to educate your client, and it's very important to bring your client to reality, because numbers 2 years ago, even a year ago, is not the same as today. And again, you all are in the market more than me, so you could tell me if I'm wrong or right. But I also really believe if the rates don't change, short sales are on their way. Especially the fact that BHA said they are cutting people within 2 years. And I think it's now even investors, if you're a smart investor, you have to, all right, if BHA get cut in 2 years, or you have to think, you have to think about those numbers when you're purchasing a home, right? Because that's very important. And BHA also said, hey, we're not raising, we might not be raising rent anytime soon. So you need to work with us. These are all indicators saying, hey, I got it. As Joe said, I'm going to go back to the table and do my numbers and make sure I don't lose my shirt. But again, when it comes to the market, and you get in a new listing, you have to be realistic with your client and make sure your comps are strong as possible. Kerry?
I'm gonna just say something, Alex. You don't have to answer on this call, but if you can call me after.
Okay.
A client reached out to me and asked me to list their property based on what they got in appraisal, which is somewhere between 1.1, 1.2 million. I sold them this house a year ago. I was the buyer's agent, and that house sat on the market for months at 850,000, right? And on that street, no homes sold for over 800,000. And this particular home, my client bought for 800,000. But the comps within, you know, half a mile radius is 1.1, 1.2 mil. That street, no, 800,000 is where it caps. So now I have a call with my client today, and they want me to sell it for 1.2 mil, and I don't have the confidence to sell it for 1.2 mil, because if I put all the money into marketing and it doesn't sell for over a million, they're going to pull the listing away from me and say I didn't do my job. So I'm almost afraid to even take it based on my hunch. And you don't have to answer, but that's kind of what I'm going through.
I do want to answer because trust me,
Okay.
someone else is going through the same exact thing. One thing for sure, is this a
Single.
single family? Wow. Wow. Okay. A single family went from 800 and some change to 1.2 million in you said a year or 2 years?
Well, all the homes within a mile sold for over a mil,
Hmm.
1.1, 1.2. That's not a lie. So if the appraiser came and ran their comps, yes, they're going to see all of those properties that sold for 1.2. But on
Hmm.
that street in particular, no house sold for over 800,000. And on this particular property where I was the buyer's agent, I was able to negotiate the price down from 900,000 to 800,000 because nobody was offering 900,000. It sat on the market for months. And I'm afraid I mean, they've done some slight renovations, but not enough, in my opinion, to say in less than a year, the market's going to view this home as 1.1, 1.2 mil.
I would say how you just explained it to me, and if I was a seller, I understand what you're saying, right? You're advising me, right? And you telling me, hey, you could do it your way, but I don't have no faith. But if we do it your way and we don't sell, then what is plan B? Right? What is plan B? Are we gonna do it my way, or um are you going to cancel the listing? And I think having that
Well,
kind of conversation, oh, go ahead.
yeah, well, these clients blamed me last year for their home not selling at the price in which they wanted to sell it, which is not the price that I gave them. But they were
Hmm.
so you know, focused on
Hmm.
somebody down the street sold it for this amount a year ago, so our house is worth more. I am nervous about sinking, and because this is a 5,000 square foot house,
Yeah,
I'm nervous about sinking money into marketing, knowing that there's a high likelihood that it won't touch a mill.
got it, got it. I would also say this, Carrie. They called you back for a reason. I just want to be honest. if they was complaining about what you did in the past, but then called you again, they have some type of belief in Kerry in
Well,
Kerry.
they're saying that because I wasn't at the first open house, if I were at that first open house, I would have
Gotcha.
sold that house for the price that they wanted. So they don't want a
Gotcha.
team. They want me specifically. And
Yep.
and the thing is, I can't guarantee that their house is going to sell for 1.2 mil or 1.1 because it barely sold for 800,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I would honestly again have the conversation you're having with us, I'll have this with them and come up with that number you believe that the home will sell for and let them choose. Hey, are you gonna go with what I believe we should do and what's gonna get the job done? You know, even from if we do I'm almost sure from last year to this year, the rates are it's higher. Homes, and if you look at the I forgot what it's called. I think it's called oh my goodness, listing report or neighborhood report. It literally tell you the difference between last year. You could pick any year till today, and it shows you homes on the market staying much longer, and this is a official report that you can print out and say, you know what? I'm going to show you. Look what's happening. Homes are staying on the market much longer because there's way more inventory now, right? So I would definitely say, hey, you want to do it my way or you want to do it your way? But if we do it your way, what is Plan B? What is Plan B? If this doesn't work, what is Plan B? Are we going with my way? I'm going to be here. If you could be here, I'm going to be here. I am going to sell your home, but this is what I advise, and I think your client you owe that to your client and see how they take it, and then you make your decision on am I working with this person or not.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else about the market? What are we seeing?
Can anybody talk about buyers right now? Like, are buyers for the most part hitting the mark right now as far as are they compatible with the market, what's out there, what inventory is out there?
You're saying what they are approved for versus
Right.
what's on the
Versus,
market.
right. Are people feeling like they're aligned? Do they feel like they're behind, especially given the rates and all that's and everything that's going on?
Like I said, I could tell you absolutely not. But again, someone else could answer. 'Cause I witnessed some buyers say, I want this, I want that, I want that. I got 900. Let's make this happen. What they want is 1.2. That's how much it costs to get everything they want on that list. That's what what I witnessed. The rates is like I just it's mind blowing right now. Joanna.
I think buyers are in a good position right now, as far as being creative with how they're submitting offers. As Alex mentioned, there is a lot of inventory just sitting on the market, which gives us agents a lot of room to negotiate. But I think with the rates still being high, lenders are being creative too in terms of ways to leverage a buyer's market purchasing power. The 2-1 buy down was something that came into play most recently as an opportunity for one of my buyers. Obviously, leveraging some of the down payment assistance that's being offered. But I feel like there is more opportunity, at least in my experience, for buyers with the homes sitting on the market and even homes that are coming back on the market due to buyer financing falling through and giving my buyers opportunities to have a second chance at homes that they didn't have an opportunity at maybe a month or so ago. So I think it does depend on the market of what your buyer is purchasing, where they're purchasing, and how much they're pre-approved for. So yeah, your question is a bit broad. So I don't know if you're a little bit more specific in terms of what you're asking about when it comes to buyers, but I feel like, we're playing a matching game, right? I think once we have a pre-approval for our buyers, we need to let them know what they can purchase and not allowing buyers to tell us what they want. And typically when buyers do that, I'll say, let's see what your pre-approval says. And then I can kind of give you some guidance on what you're able to purchase based on what your pre-approval is. And depending on how flexible your buyer is, then, you're able to make it work.
I feel like you answered.
Yeah. And to just to talk more about that, again, there's a lot of homes sitting on the market. Those are the homes you should be going after. Those are the deals. These homes are staying on the market for a reason. That means the seller can't pull it off the market because they really need to sell. Look, this is my offer, take it or leave it. Just be honest. You have sellers now have a lot more competition. A lot more competition. That's just the truth. That's the market we're in right now, and this is why I believe the short sales is going to come back. Um, it, people was buying homes the last 3-4 years at like high prices and banking on the rents, and whew, it looks real scary right now, real scary. So if anything doesn't change in October, it's your opportunity to buy homes for yourself, but also for your clients. Joanna?
I also think on the listing side too, and being very mindful that because we know that homes are sitting on the market, like as far as like the example that Kerry provided by, for example, in terms of like listing your homes and being mindful of what you're listing it for. I know most recently I was very strategic about how I listed a property because I wanted to come under the competition that was currently on the market, driving the buyers to my listing and making sure they took it off the market at the desired price my seller still wanted without overpricing it. So I was still able to not overpromise to my sellers, but kind of make them feel comfortable that they were going to get what they were getting and to trust the process that I'm listing it below what I see is happening right now, because I want to drive the buyers in, get them through the door, and see the competition, of course, and drive the price up. Most recently, I did that with a listing in Randolph. I listed it for $559, and I saw there was like maybe two other listings that were listed in Randolph for like $575 and I think $549 as well. And I listed it at $559, knowing that I could probably list it at maybe $570 potentially, but knowing that because I listed it at such an attractive price, it's sold for $60,000 over asking, and it appraised at that price point. So I think understanding that you need to list it at a price that's smart, get buyers in the door so that they can bid amongst themselves and still get the desired bottom line for your seller, and not just strictly going straight off the comps. Because of course, yeah, you're seeing that homes are selling for a certain price, but you don't want to list it at that price because you want to get the buyers to bid against themselves and to drive the price up, not start high in hopes that they'll drive it even higher. So understanding the target audience, understanding your competition, being mindful that when you're listing a home, you're not only just looking at the comps, but also looking at what's on the market. Because if you're seeing a home similar to yours or better than yours that's listed at a higher price point and it's sitting, that tells you a lot about the market. And also, I've also taken the liberty of calling agents who've had homes under contract, asking them what they list, what their homes under contract for as well. Not necessarily banking on it, but just to kind of get a better understanding of what the demand is for that particular home. And I found that that's been very helpful in making sure that I'm not putting my sellers in a position where I'm overpricing their home and their home is sitting on the market.
Have they been good with that? Like answering those questions?
All of them don't answer, but Joanna, you could answer that, but I doubt all of
I
them.
didn't hear the question.
Are the agents answering that question about what their home is under?
Some are answering, some are saying they can't share. So it really just depends on how you're asking and what you're asking for. Some agents, and I look at the potential closing date. And if it's like gonna close like tomorrow, some agents don't care. Like, oh yeah, we're closing tomorrow, and this is what is under contract for. But if it's early on if it's just went under contract, they might be a little bit more reluctant. So it just really depends. I say, hey, the worst you can do, the worst they could say is no. Always ask. If they don't share, they don't share. But they might share, hey, it was a busy open house, or it went under in just 5 days, or there's still other things they can share with you that can give you some guidance on, how competitive it was. Hey, how many offers did you have? How quickly it came off the market? Was it over asking? whether contingency is favorable. So there's a lot of things that can tell you a lot about the offer without just, asking the price.
Exactly right. And you can also ask, what comps did you use for your listing? Right. And that'll give you a idea of what they was looking for, how they come up with the numbers as well. So, and that tells you if you put an offer in, if you put an offer into that home, that tells you already what they want for the home without accent. Clarissa?
I was just gonna
I
say
was just gonna
that
say that.
I agree with Joe, because I had to do the same thing with my condo, and understanding that we're not in the same market and you can't always depend on the comps. Like for example, with my condo, I mean, a lot of buyers right now are in a great position to buy with equity. So my condo, I ended up dropping the price and it's selling for 420, but it actually appraised at 485. So as a seller, as a owner, I mean, just like with everybody else, you're gonna be thinking like, oh man, I'm missing out on this money. I know it's worth X, Y, and Z. And yeah, it may be worth X, Y, and Z, but it's all depending on the market right now. And there just aren't enough buyers right now, for one, and they're not willing to pay that top dollar price anymore. Which, like I said, it's a pro and a con because as a buyer, you can definitely buy something right now and have a ton of equity. But as a seller, you are going to be, you're going to have to take that forfeit, and you're not going to get what you expect to get, even though it probably is going to appraise at that higher price, which sucks.
Thank you for sharing. All right. We could move on, Ange. And that was a good market update.
Yeah, that was juicy. Whose iPhone? Is that Jonathan? I second that, living it right now. Agents of the month for June. Agents of the month. I hate that the chat button doesn't stay open for me. Oh, it's Tanisha. um, Agents of the month for June. We've got a commercial leasing agent of the month, and this person I don't think is here this morning. Let me double check. Commercial leasing agent of the month is not here. And that's the only clue that I got for you.
I think I mean,
Everyone got it? The commercial leasing agent of the month is Hugans. And take a second. I don't know if he posted his pictures yet, but take a second to just appreciate his
yeah,
media day
hold
photo.
up.
This new, you know what I'm saying? Sharp, like fresh off of Forbes magazine, 30 under 30. Let's get it. Congrats, Hugans, even though you're not here. We'll see you on Facebook later. Residential rental. I should have checked that too. So residential rental agent of the month for June. This person is also not here this morning. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did check up and down. Jeremy's in
Yeah,
here twice.
we'll send their post on Monday. They will.
Jess, Sharona, or Jess. Ooh, okay, okay. Our residential rental expert for the month of June is Miss Sharona Moore. So congrats to Miss Sharona. I know that she is outside. Okay, she is building up her social media, and I love to see her sharing her story and helping others
I
in a
wonder who
similar situation. Go Sharona. What happened?
I wonder who she's speaking to. Yeah, I can list that for you. Yeah.
Hell yeah, money's calling. Um, congrats, Rona. Congrats, Hugans. Mm-mm-mm. And our residential sales agents of the month for June. And yeah, I did say agents. There's two of them. We had a tie, and no one beat the tiebreaker for June. So we'll see what happens for July. But for the month of June, who do you guys think we're duking it out? It's two names, two agents. Okay, we got Jeremy and Emmanuel. We got Katia or Kerry. It's two names, so it could be both. You know what I'm saying? We have two agents of the month for June for residential sales, Jeremy and Emmanuel. Okay.
Didn't somebody call it for June and said they was gonna do it?
Huh?
Didn't somebody
Come on,
call
stop.
it for June last month and said they was gonna do it?
Oh,
Who called it? Stop it. Yo, EJ.
oh
No. You
shoot.
all right? Who called
I'm
it,
just
EJ?
I'm just saying, I don't
Who
know if I
called it?
remember.
You don't
You
know
don't
who?
remember.
I don't know if
All
I
right.
remember.
Okay.
Oh, you lying.
I don't know if I remember.
Jeremy and Matt, Katia and Deja. Uh, uh, we gonna talk about it.
No,
It
for
is
real.
Miss Katia and Jeremy Brandon. Ooh, I mean, you, you got new media day, old media day. But I love it, and they're both here. Congrats to you guys. Wait, they're still here, right? Congrats to you guys. Um,
Boom,
y'all were
boom, boom.
neck and
Congratulations.
neck.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Katia, you got something to say?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so very much for the recognition. Congrats, King Jeremy. It's just an honor to serve our clients. Wasn't easy. It was an easy month. But thank God that we were able to make it to the closing table. Thank you, Thumbprint. Thank you to all of the agents for your support. And also for Sorry, I have someone picking up something at my house. It's right there. And also to Deja, who's taken on my Rhode Island clients and she's killing it with them. So thank you very much, everyone, for your continued support.
Boom,
Oh,
boom.
lift
Let's
as we
go.
elevate.
Let's go. Jeremy, what's up?
What's up? Yeah, as she said, this is deserved. This is expected and deserved. The amount of work and focus and belief you got to have in yourself in a transaction. Um, these deals were trying to just steal all momentum. And honestly, without belief in yourself to find the creative solution, you don't get results like this. So these are expected due to how we show up, how I show up, the sacrifices I'm willing to make. So I'm appreciative. I appreciate those who cheer me on, those who tell me to pick up my head when I'm confused. Those on this call, when I brought some problems I had with a transaction, the ideas I was given. So it's a phenomenal atmosphere to put myself in so I can continue to fuel myself when I don't have the solutions or I lose momentum or focus. So this is the output. So let's keep pushing the needle, baby.
Hey, let's go. Congratulations to you both.
Congrats, Hugans. Congrats, Sharona. Congrats, Katia. Congrats, Jeremy. Y'all did y'all big thing for June. And of course, what is one activity that you will commit to this month, the month of July, in order to grow your business?
Me, I'm gonna double down on Brandon. Brandon is like it's already proven. We all knew this from day one. So um sometimes you could be that person, but Brandon completely wrong. Or you're just in the wrong circle. You position yourself in the wrong circle, wrong atmosphere. Um, but man, one thing social media has done for us is allow the world to see us. And what you put out there is up to you. It's really up to you. You could pick a market and say, hey, I'm going to be this in this market. And if you stand by it and you're good at it, and obviously people will see it, your phone, the money's going to chase. But when you chase the money, it's not happening. But when you find that spark and find your purpose and you ran that, you're unstoppable. When you listen to God, you're unstoppable. Unstoppable. So me, I would just say I just double down on branding. It it just makes too much sense. Um, so yeah. Um, Clarissa?
Or is that an old hand?
I thought Tina.
Uh, for me, it's branding as well. There's so many changes in the Villemade team. And we were gonna brand in May. And we would have had to rebrand. So I'm happy that now we just have to set some dates so that we can launch the new brand.
When is the dates? What date?
No, I said we have to set them.
Oh,
I know I said before in August, so it has to be sometime in August that we get things moving.
all right. All right. So we're gonna check. You said in August. So now when August comes, we're gonna be like, yo, what's going on?
What happened?
So-
Yeah.
Someone's gonna call you and be like, you dropped the ball again. You said
Mhm.
you lied to yourself. You lied to us, but we want to see this phenomenal brand because y'all do have a phenomenal brand. And when y'all show up, y'all show out. Just don't do it enough. But when y'all do it, y'all put it all together and it looks great. So August come, everyone's gonna remember, hey, China, you BS again, or you showed up.
Mhm.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Anyone else? What's up, Carrie?
Yeah, so most of you may know that my interest is more in the international market, national, international market. And the calls that I'm getting, I get a lot of calls for international real estate. So my branding is going to change to support that. And so that's what I'll be working on for the next few months is pivoting and changing my brand. I'm not Kerrilee Blake Martin, Massachusetts realtor. You call me when you're looking to purchase overseas. So yeah.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Congratulations. I can't wait to see that branding. And when you said it's gonna happen?
I'm working on it. As you know, I'm licensed in Texas, so I'm going to get myself sorted out in Texas in terms of Texas branding. But I'm also working on some stuff for the international market, and I've gotten some clients that are kind of waiting for me to secure myself overseas. But that's the direction where I'm going.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Let's go. Let's go. And EJ, you still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, I just had to put it out here and put my brother under the bus. Yo, Kevin Kevin has a VA class, a full VA course coming out that he's shooting with Jessica. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I
Uh-oh.
can't
You
wait
haven't
to see it.
you
I
haven't
can't wait
checked
to
the
see
email?
it, bro. Huh?
You haven't checked the email?
I seen the
That's what I
email.
was saying.
I,
Okay.
I seen the email. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you trying to do it
Oh
on my
no, no,
birthday. I
I'm
seen
sorry.
the email.
I'm working right now, so maybe I missed the prior conversation.
Oh, okay. I seen the email, but what I'm saying is full VA course, that Kevin is manning that's supposed to come
Mhm.
out and I know you're doing your thing. I just wanted to try to make some type of connection or try to put some more fire on the bros, but that's all I wanted to say. We're talking
Mm.
about things we're gonna do, to bring more business. Because
I
my
hear
man had a phenomenal plan. The business plan was crazy, and
you.
it's
Hmm.
crazy. So, and I hear you moving and shaking. So I just wanted to just throw that
Hmm.
out. So I'll probably start in trouble probably start some trouble that
Where's
y'all make
Kevin?
a
Oh,
lot of money.
Kevin's still here.
Y'all might make a lot of money. So this Kevin might be like, nah, I'm doing this today. And he go make a lot of money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Purple Heart, right?
Mm-mm. And I saw that, but not gone.
I'm just saying.
I hear it.
That's all.
I hear it. I hear it.
You feel me? I don't know the synergy if anything's there, but he got a lot of those VA people. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
I'm in the VAs every day. So do I, bro.
That's what I'm
I'll call him.
talking about.
I'll
You
call
don't
him
get it. You
master.
don't see
I'll
it.
call him. No, no, no. I got you. I'm just
Do you
joking.
see it?
I'll call him
That's
master.
what
I
I'm
got you.
saying.
I got you.
Y'all can order the market. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
That's
got you.
what I'm trying to say. Your transportation, he's actually inside. He got a
Mm-hmm.
Purple Heart. You know what I'm saying? He talking to general still. He the man around these parts. I'm just saying. I'm just going to try and synergy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. You take over the East, he take over the West.
Kevin, the veterans, they need y'all. They need
Oh, for
y'all.
real.
Okay.
Kevin
I'm
Big
down. Let's
Dog
work.
out here. Don't y'all should talk. He big dog out here. Don't sleep on Kev. Kevin's big dog around here. Real talk. I'm dead serious. I've been trying to gas him, but
But
um
but on a serious note, that came Kevin EJ requested a VA training, and specifically with Jessica. And that's why
which
Alex
can we
made
have already, so we will be doing another one. We could do it because we have Jessica already did a VA training. I remember it was a while back, but we could do another one. But we already have one on file from Jessica teaching us about VA, how to close them, how to invest, how to use the VA more than once, all of that. We actually have that training in the support training. So, but again, I have no problem doing another one.
All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. Yeah. What you waiting for me?
You talk to me or talk to?
You're a veteran right now, EJ?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we could definitely do it again, EJ. Another VA training. I think that's a great market to be in. I think no one dominate that market yet. So you drive them around. And I can't wait for the big homie course come out as well. 'Cause I think it's a great, great, great market. But anyone else? What are we doing this month? Can I get 3 more? Obviously, Emmanuel, where you at? Because you said you was gonna be agent of the month. EJ was talking about you. So Emmanuel, what we doing? I need August to be you, bro. What can we do to make sure you're August, bro?
Oh, you mean July?
Oh, July. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Emmanuel, you gone?
I'm back. I'm back. No, that was Matt.
All right.
That was Matt.
You sure?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I
yeah.
think it
That
was
was
Mac.
Matt.
Mac is the
That
one
was
who.
Matt. You know what I'm saying,
Oh, that
but
was
we're working though. We're working. We're getting back to the cold calling.
okay.
Just trying to work on the branding and putting some videos out there. We're working, just trying to get over that hurdle of me having a selfie camera on my face. But we're getting there. We're
I
getting
mean,
there.
it's both of y'all. You look, show your clients, and you show your future clients what you do with their present clients. That's the best way to market.
Yeah.
That's a bit like just show them how you close deals. Show them how you write the offers. Like just show them like, oh, this is the situation. This is how I got it closed. This is what I do, and this is why my clients get to the closing table. And if you want to get to the closing table, give me a call. If not, good luck. Like
Yeah, we're gonna
just
make
show
it
us
happen.
what you do.
We're gonna
Like
we're gonna
show.
make it happen. We just be like, I know for me personally, when I'm working, I just be so in the moment. It doesn't cross my mind, and afterwards, I'm like, damn, I should have recorded this because this was
Do a
perfect
recap.
right there.
Start with a recap, bro. Take a picture of the house or do a walk through the house and just talk to us and tell us how you got to close it.
I
Like,
got you.
take the first step. Like, if you don't take that first step, we're gonna have the same conversation next month. Just take the first step.
I got
You
you.
know?
I'm starting this
Yeah.
weekend. Starting this
Amen.
weekend. I'm
Let's
reaching
go.
out to
That's what
everybody
that's
with
what I'm talking
listings.
about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Tell us how you be closing these deals. Tell the world how you get to the closing table. No one's better than you. You're the biggest. You and Mac the biggest, right?
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Go,
I
Artie.
appreciate you, big dog.
Just show us what it
100%.
do. Just show us what to do.
Period.
Joel, I don't know why they keep leaving you out, Joel. But that's you gotta call yourself the biggest before biggest
Joel,
Joel.
Joel is part of the team
They're
too.
not leaving me out. I'm here. And matter of fact, Mac was just trying to talk on my phone to redeem himself.
Oh, okay. So you're the biggest too, Joel. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Okay.
Oh yeah. We the three biggest. We gonna make it happen.
For the three biggest now. Okay, cool. Okay, they invite you in. All right, bet. Big Mac,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here.
when are you gonna
Great.
become agent of the month?
It's I'm not only looking to get to be agent of the month. I'm looking to be the agent. So it takes time, but I'm working on it heavily.
Wait, talking mad trash last week. EJ came
It's
out
coming.
and said, "Yo, remember
It's not easy.
somebody talking?" Yo,
It's not.
EJ
Listen,
reminded us.
when you have Katya and Jeremy, that
Well,
like it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's coming.
oh,
Oh,
okay. So they special. I mean, okay, only those two are special. I got it. Okay.
No. I'm not
Okay.
saying special. Yes, they are special in what they're doing, but I'm not saying
Got it.
special. But I have to respect the experience and the time. You
Oh,
know.
got it.
But
But you
don't
didn't feel
worry.
that way
Don't worry.
last month. You didn't feel that way last month when you said, "Hey, thank you, thank you,
you,
Gaio."
you,
When you
you know.
said, hey, I'm going to take it, and once I take it, nobody else is taking it back.
Yeah, exactly. If I took it this time and then lose it next month, so it makes no sense. I said when I take it, I will hold it. I will hold on to it.
All
yo.
right, we want you to win. Whatever you need from us, let us know. We cheering you on. Whatever you need, Mac, to make sure you're agent of the month for July and keep it. Just just let us know. All right.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
All right. Last one. Last one. Come on, one more person. What we gonna do? And Angie, I think it's important to show everyone's closings and the numbers. Again, bring that back. So I think that's super important. Because some people could be right there and say, "Damn, I just had to close that one more, and I could have been agent of the month, or I could have been in a conversation." And then you guys, people that didn't close not anything, and we could talk to them, and see why and what kind of support they need. So, Angie, I definitely think the numbers should definitely go back up. Um, because even if some people have some donuts with some zeros, sorry, zeros and not speaking up, so you want to stay with the zero and you don't want to do anything to build your business this month. And this is the best meeting to talk about, hey, this is what I want to do, because you can get feedback and you can also get help. So if you're going to stay silent here, then that means you most likely going to stay silent when you get off the meeting and next month do nothing again. So let me ask one more time. One more person. I want one person to step up and say what they're going to do to increase their business for this month.
I'll go. I'm
Let's
going
go.
to step up my follow-up game.
What does that look like?
That looks like every week I'm calling it follow-up Fridays, where I'm reaching out to folks that I've talked to, or maybe they're looking but haven't found anything yet. So that's my goal.
Okay, follow up Fridays. All right, we're gonna
Follow-up
hold you to it.
Friday.
Follow up Fridays. Let's go, Deja. Thank you for sharing that. Follow up Fridays. All right, cool. All right, Ange. And the last thing, any concern or feedback, questions, concern, comments, or feedback before we get off. Perfect, perfect. Just remember the last few meetings we had the inspector. He spoke about the rule change. If you missed it, go look at it. Or watch it. We had someone speak about that new program for the three families. If you missed that, go look at it. And then we had another one. Wait, what am I missing? There was one more that was important. It's inspection, three family. Oh my goodness. Inspection, three family. God. Inspection, three family. What was last month meeting? And man, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago when I was in Florida. What else was an inspection? All right, I can't remember the third one. I'll put it in the chat when I remember. But those are three good trainings that y'all probably want to watch. And so you could again help your clients better and make sure that there's no lawsuits that come against us because we did not know or not proceed to do things the correct way. So if you missed those trainings, please watch it. Other than that, everyone, you woke up today. I don't know why. It's up to you to figure it out. Until then, enjoy your weekend. See ya.